गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों। टाइम बज रहा है अभी 4:30 और आज हम जा रहे हैं कूर्ग। That is so not my style. But yes, we are going to Coorg and this is going to be a unique trip because I've got some surprise. Join me to find out. All right, so we are on our way to Coorg. This is a very exciting trip because I'm going to be visiting School Thota. It's a resort cottage, very old, rustic kind of a place, run by Kushalapa sir and his mother. Kushalapa was my senior in college, way senior. So yeah, this is my first time in Coorg. Kiran, who's behind the camera, has been to Coorg multiple times. How many times have you been to Coorg, Kiran?
I don't remember.
Yes, well, he travels through Coorg every time he's going home. And yes, it is exciting. Well, let's go check it out. So, the idea popped up to go to Coorg when I was thinking of taking a break and I didn't really know what to do. And I was researching a couple of places to stay in Coorg. And there was the whole Coorg Wildlife, Coorg Wilderness Resort, I think. There was a lot of promotion going about that on radio. And I checked it out. But apparently that place is ridiculously expensive, around 20,000 rupees per night. And well, I thought, well, that's not a way to experience Coorg. That's the way to experience a 5-star hotel, right? But no, what I wanted to do was experience Coorg. So I remembered that Kushalapasa had an estate, a School Thota, right? And it's beautiful. Check out the pictures on Google and you know what I mean. However, I'm going there today to do something even better. So my gear is a Theta 360 camera, a Redmi 9 paired with a gimbal, and a Sony Alpha DSLR camera, mirrorless camera. So we are going to get some amazing insights for you. And yeah, so join us as we experience School Thota and Coorg in this monsoon season. So it's been raining like crazy since morning. We started from Bangalore, and in Bangalore it was raining the whole of yesterday, morning to night, and it's apparently the same thing in Coorg. It's raining, as you can see. Apparently something to do with the depression over Chennai and the heavy rainfall that Chennai is getting. Coorg and Bangalore seems to be enjoying the after effects. Right, So I can't wait. Let's get going. There is something about being on the roads, about traveling, that captures my heart, and I just can't put it into words. But I believe this poem by Robert Frost explains it as best as I can. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness belt a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. School Thota is a one-of-a-kind experience, a vintage getaway nestled in the lush school estate that immediately takes you to a bygone era. A breathtaking garden welcomes you and gently reminds you that life is beautiful. The entire cottage, soaked in rich German architecture, is evident in every nook and corner.
They've cut it before it's mature. So it's not very tasty. If you don't want it, leave it. I'll pour the juice for you.
And then we were invited by our host, Saraswati ma'am,
This is also
to an
called-
amazing
It's
breakfast.
called passion fruit.
Oh,
You know that. Okay.
it's perfect. Not too sweet, not too sour. Although when you walk in, it's got a very Victorian era feel to it.
Yes. It's more of Victorian, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fire, three-legged stool.
Like it's stool, okay.
We call it mukkali. Mukkali is murkali.
More Kali.
Mukkali, it is. We sit on that for weddings also. No sofas there. We have to sit on that. We consider that as three murtis. Three murtis. We go around that. We don't have Brahmins for our weddings. No Brahmins for three murtis. Take their permission and we stand behind the stool and we take 3 steps.
As you can see, our host indulged us in some very lively conversation and gave us a lot of insights into Coorg and the way of life over here. Having filled ourselves with a delicious breakfast, we decided to explore the rest of this 300-year-old house. When you come to School Thota, you can take a hike through the vast estate, soaking in the fresh air and the sounds of nature that you won't find elsewhere. A gushing stream runs through the estate, and the sound of water on rocks is almost therapeutic. Oh, and we went fishing in the rain. How awesome is that? And at the end of it, we had a fireplace that warmly welcomed us back and some amazing conversations with our host.
It is said when Kaveri was flowing, she left her husband and she was going away, So the cooks went and stopped her, said, don't leave this place and go away because you're our mother. Without the mother, how can we live? And the water force was so much, the plates turned back. That's what the story goes. That's how the story goes. So we have the plates at the back and we did it.
Oh, I did not know that. That is.
So nobody knows that.
That is a.
When we went to stop Kaveri by flowing, the wind was so much, the force was so much, the plates turned. So after
Did
that,
any of you know that? I did not know that. Thank you for that.
no, many didn't know. Many didn't know. Because nobody asks us this question, no?
Yes, well,
And what better way to wrap up the evening than sit at the table with some homemade Coorg dishes. It was an amazing dinner, no doubt. We woke up the next day to the sound of chirping birds and overcast skies. It is a disappointment we did not see the sun. But again, we had an amazing breakfast and then we headed out. So Kushalapasa, where are we going?
We are going to Kotte Betta, the second highest peak in Coorg.
Second highest peak in Coorg. Well, you heard that right.
And that is in Somapet Taluk.
Somapet Taluk. Great.
Coorg has 4 taluks: Markara, Virajpet, Panapet and Sundigapa.
Aha, right. Now at this point I have to mention that throughout the day we went trekking to a lot of places. Here is stop number 1 just before we hit Kotte Betta. This was an insane trek and I have to say with my hurt knee it was a bit tough. So we are going trekking up this place. Hopefully should be an interesting one. Let's see how far we can make it. Now the interesting thing about Coorg is that wherever you go,
He's flown off.
it's always going to be a beautiful sight. This is something. Whoa. Whoa. Clearly, it's not surprising why they say Coorg is the Scotland of India. So what happened earlier was we were trying to climb up this slope with 4 of us on board, and yeah, the tires started burning. So Kiran, how was it driving up here? I guess it was pretty.
This is only 1000 cc.
It's a 1000cc car, yeah.
Might make it 1000 or 500 cc.
So in this place, I think you'd have to go the entire thing on the first gear, right? Like if you try pushing it to second, also it doesn't really.
Yeah, and the turbo lag is that is not supporting.
Alright.
And after having visited Kotte Betta, we decided to head further down to the Kotte Abbey Falls. What you see here is the catchment area from the falls. Right, so by this time we're all very hungry and tired, so we decided to take a quick lunch break by the flowing waters. How romantic is that? Lunch is finally done, and now it's time to head to the main site of this entire trip, and that is to the Adi Pepper Farm to discover and learn about a very special kind of pepper, Adi pepper. So the thing about Coorg is, if you want to get from one place to another, it involves a trek. Just getting from point A to point B is a damn trek. So here I am, trekking on to the farm or the agricultural land where the Adi pepper was developed, is being researched on, and I have with me the farmer who is behind the whole thing. He was recently on a trip to Delhi where he'd been awarded, and me and Kiran are off there. We also have Kushalappa sir, who is seems to have found it. So let's check this out.
Actually, this is Adi pepper. So if you are seeing that, yellow one.
Right.
Adi female wine. So the crop is set there, and you can see the crop there. This is this season's crop.
Okay.
So it is ready for harvesting.
All this effort. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. It's a story. It's a story that will take you to the origins of a very special kind of pepper. Kurimulaga, as it's known in Malayalam. But this man over here in front of me is, let's say, the man behind this. And he's just been awarded like a agricultural farmers kind of recognition in Delhi by the agricultural minister. And so I think this effort is absolutely worth it, because we get to hear a one-of-a-kind story about a one-of-a-kind pepper from the man himself. So let's get started.
This is the Adi pepper which we are developing. We have denominated this pepper as a Adi. So that Adi means that beginning or first or origin, like that. So this pepper is naturally distributed in our biodiversity. So in our Coorg biodiversity in our Western Ghats, there are 7 different species of black pepper is there. So namely that Piper galleatum, Piper hymenophyllum, Piper ruxagandham, and Piper trichosacium, and Piper nigrum, and this is Piper, one of the species.
Well, that lesson in botany was getting to be a bit too much, so we decided to head on something a bit more fun. Oh, okay.
How many years old? How many years old?
So what you're seeing here is a 300-year-old tree or plant, flowering plant, and it is enormous.
you can see here, some cats will be there.
Cats, sir.
That is civet cats, such things.
Oh, it's like a
No, must be
cave.
that one only. Between the
And in an effort to demonstrate to us how big the tree really is, this man decided to walk in and come out the other side of it. Yes, please. And as a parting gift, Mr. Puncha gave us some homemade farm-grown So guys, lemons I get and to take home oranges. some bitter orange and bitter lemon. How bloody cool is that? And we were finally done with our trip. It had been an amazing past couple of days. All of us were relieved to be back at the car. So we're back from our trek session and here we go. Someone's bleeding. So am I. So what's already done? If you're wondering, those were gifted to us by the leeches. You have more blood to spare than me. I don't have that much. Bach catch, Ruby. Aww. Ruby will be back. Bye.